Hey guys, so today I want to talk about loyalty in software engineering and essentially the challenges that businesses have with junior people and vice versa. I'm pretty sure that most people out there are primarily familiar with the problems that junior developers and interns have while landing a job. And especially the high expectations that someone says, hey, I just graduated from college, I don't have any type of pet projects, I do want to apply as a developer, but I went to 30 or 40 interviews and essentially nobody wants me, right? I know the drill, I've been there myself. My background is actually in software engineering long before I founded the software development company I work with right now, Devrix. And I really wanted to just share my perspective and my vision by working with dozens and hundreds, even hundreds of different software development companies out there, hiring people, organizing internship programs, and essentially trying to fill in gaps while giving job opportunities at the same time. Now, I think that the most important factor to consider for is a common topic I hear at conferences and meetups and places like that is companies want to take advantage of us, companies have extremely high expectations, companies are bad, of course, which is normal. That's why we create startups. This is why I also created my book about entrepreneurship and the thought of entrepreneurship in the first place. But back on topic, junior developers, and not just junior developers, but developers at large, are often not satisfied by the companies and by management, and they feel deceived and they feel like cheated and things like that. Now, I understand how this may feel, and that's precisely why I'm creating this contradictory video in the first place, trying to bust some of those myths. I remember back in the day, I was working as a developer with some of the steps that I had to take as a business analyst, estimating some projects, preparing feature plans, workflows and charts and so forth, and actually estimating projects I was supposed to work on. I was sending some quotes, management was sending additional quotes, and essentially I was theoretically earning just 5% of what the business was charging for the application, right? So it didn't really feel fair. I felt like I was going to do better as a freelancer. Of course I didn't. I tried, I failed. It was a long back and forth and so forth, but at least it helped me actually figure out how business works and what goes into running a business. Now, I was just talking to a senior sales guy for one of the largest enterprise-grade corporations. It's a multinational enterprise out there. So he said, well, I'm only getting paid about 20 euro per hour, and they do see the detailed breakdown for pretty much everything else that's charged by the company and the essential breakdown. So I do charge, like I'm getting paid 20 euro per hour, but I see that the company is charging 140 euro per hour, right? So this is just a seventh or so of the actual amount that goes in. But again, he has the insights and the data to the actual report that goes into the company. So he says, we have large warehouses, we are paying for multiple, let's say, internet providers, and you know, lots of legal fees, and then senior management and DevOps people and sales and marketing and accounting and legal and this and that and this and that. So he says, at least I'm aware of where money goes, and they know that the company isn't really taking the other, I don't know, 120 euro and just putting it back to their pockets, right? Because it's very transparent when you're actually talking to people, when you're in management, when you're the chief operating officer, but it seems really stupid otherwise. And other thing that people don't really assess is, let's say, kind of a business person asks for an estimate and goes to the tech department. The tech lead says, well, this is going to take, I know, 400 hours. Essentially, as we all know, lots of different variables, estimates are a slippery road, and the project turns into a 1,200 hours project, which is essentially 3 times as much as the original estimate was quoted for. Now, instead of firing all those people that went with this estimate, companies, of course, are paying this, and 99% of the time are retaining those people. And you know, even they're completely unhappy because the company is paying for that effort, they still retain the people and they still keep paying them, which is you people. And you know, that's kind of how business works in the first place. Estimates are generally incorrect for the vast majority of the time. Businesses are overpaying the original estimates because people are trying to be not too conservative. They don't really employ risk management practices in place, and that's essentially what happens as a result out of this. Lots of money are actually draining down the line simply because that's how business works. So back to junior developers and to actually developers working for corporations. For the most experienced developers, and pretty much that you can realize that it's simple as that. you're working as a part of the food chain. You either generate ROI or not, meaning that you either work on a product that's actually making money, or you are maintaining, let's say, the corporate website, or working on other stuff that has to be live but isn't generating additional revenue for the company. Those are the two main types of roles. You know, if you're a programmer in a legal firm, you're more of a commodity, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. You're just a necessity to maintain some stuff for the company, but that's pretty much it. If you're working as a developer in, let's say, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, whatever it is, then you are building the products that are making the revenue for the rest of the company. So then you're an instrument, you're a sales generating machine, because your effort is directly tied to opportunities and to leads and to revenue and this and that. So those are kind of the two opportunities. But for junior developers, again, hiring a person in the first place, hiring a junior developer, means that a company has to establish whether you're great at your work in the first place, meaning that whether you can accomplish what you're being asked for. Juniors by definition takes at least 6 to 9 months to potentially start getting some work done. And it's usually the repetitive work that nobody else wants to cover. There are different studies that say that kind of juniors are paying back their kind of initial investment in about 2 years, if the company is lucky, meaning that they are paying for training for the first 9 months, then some potential progress, some potential work kind of over the next 9 months. So if juniors need about a year and a half to just really get up to speed and start potentially generating some revenue without any sort of guarantee for the company that this person, this individual is going to stay until they actually make some profit for the company, that's essentially where everything falls down. And that's essentially where all the HRs that people are complaining about in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in pretty much everywhere else, those people are looking for people who just went through their official training, like they went through university, learned theory potentially, then they actually spent a couple years in a company, and they're calling them and paying them a better paycheck, of course, because this is now a fully trained talent that soon, within 3 to 4 to 5 months, is going to be somewhat productive in a junior capacity. So that's essentially how world lives. Companies simply don't want to pay for that extra training that you were paying a university to train you, which they didn't really accomplish because lack of teamwork, process, documentation, sprints, everything else. And then a company has to train you, and there's pretty much no guarantee that this company is going to retain you any longer. Even if you're loyal, someone is simply going to offer you a better opportunity for whatever reason, is going to give you more money, yada, 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 yada. And half of the people are simply going to say, well, thanks for the opportunity, thanks for the experience, it was a pleasure, farewell, I'm going to the other company. That's pretty much what it is all about. Like I said in a tweet storm a couple weeks ago, I do believe that if there was a university style rule book, like saying a company is hiring you as an intern / junior and you have like 4 years to graduate as a junior from this company, just as an example, if this concept was existing in the first place, and otherwise, you're not allowed to say that you work for that company, whatever it is, like you pretty much start all over if you don't stay those 4 years. If this was an actual living, breathing concept, I'm more than certain that the vast majority of the companies are going to start hiring junior people as crazy, because they know that they can retain them for 4 years, meaning that they can afford quite a lot just from that whole experience. And just the opportunity to, they're going to say, we're going to invest for a year and a half, and that's okay, we're going to make it happen, but you're going to stick with us for at least 4 years. And the good news is that after 2.5 years, if you're a good hire, we are going to start giving you opportunities. We are going to start giving you better projects, salary rises, better titles, whatever, and you're going to feel appreciated again after all the grinding. But otherwise, it's essentially lots of grinding for the person because they don't know anything and they have to learn a lot. It's a lot of stress. They blame it on the company instead of their kind of lack of skills and the mismatch between the expectations. And then they jump into another company with all those skills and know-how that they've been prepared for. That's essentially what happens in real life. So yeah, this is controversial. Let me know what you think in the comments below.